Thank you. Thank you. It's now my turn, so shut the fuck up, okay? It's my turn. So I moved back to Michigan about 6 weeks ago. I wasn't kidding, like, shut the fuck up. So I moved back to Michigan like 6 weeks ago, and then I got to Michigan and I was like, fuck, there's nothing in Michigan. So I came back here. But one of the things I didn't like about Michigan was my mom and my brother. I moved home. I'm unemployed now. It's cool. I heard there's other people here too, right? Yeah, there you are. I knew you were out there. My mom and my brother, like, they do this weird thing where every half hour they would pass through the living room and ask me what I was doing. Not together, separately. So it'd be like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And it's really hard to hide the fact that all you're doing is watching lesbian porn and whacking off to Storage Wars. So, you know when they crack those safes open, you're kind of like, bah! What's in there? She knows. She's masturbated to Storage Wars. It's cool. I have written down here, straight porn is gross. That's all. I'm not going to do a joke on that. I just thought you should know. So being in a plane, everyone, I hate when people are like, oh, people talk about being in a plane, they make jokes, but shut up, I already wrote this joke. Like, it's really mean. I was sitting next to this woman, and she was of Indian descent, but I'm somehow going to try to make this not racist, right? And I thought she couldn't walk because when I went to the aisle, it was like 4, and it was the window, and I was so excited because when do you get that without paying for it, right? But she looked at me, and she was sitting in the middle, and I had the window, and she just like went like this to me, which I took to mean spread your legs and see if you can walk over me. So I did that, and she seemed happy. But then she proceeded to order me around like some sort of house servant she had previously had. Like, she elbowed me, and she was like, air. And the weirdest part about this is, like, without thinking about it, I was like, oh, yeah. I put my hand up and turned her air on for her. And her husband was next to her, but she didn't really reference him. She elbowed me sharply again and said, water. So I got her water. And when I told my mom this joke, my mom goes, oh, when she went like this, did you say again and for how long? My mom thinks I'm a whore is the point of that joke. It's all right. I'm going to get you on my side. I fucking know it. Just give me like 2 more jokes. All right. So I drove all the way back here by myself from Michigan, which was weird. Many people have done that. It's not like that exciting, but for me it was. Also, 1220 is my address. Weird, just fun fact. But yeah, when I was coming, okay, so I drove all the way out here. I was staying with friends because I don't have any money. Wah, 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 neither does anybody. And I was in Lincoln, Nebraska, and I was really excited because this was my hotel night. All the rest of the way, I was like crashing with people, whatever. So I get in the elevator, and I hear this like buzzing. It's like zzz, zzz, zzz. So I'm like, shit, awesome, someone's calling me. So I reach in my bag, and I pull out my phone, and no one's calling me, but my bag is still like zzz, zzz. And I'm in the elevator with like these old people going to a wedding. They're like, oh, Mark, did you see the hall? Isn't it beautiful? And I'm standing there, they're all looking at my bag, and I'm like, it was my vibrator. I don't even know what this says. Next, I have written the pros and cons of dating a girl. It's an unfinished joke. But she always answers my texts, and for that, I really thank her. My dad is like one of those psycho people who doesn't trust the government, so in our basement at home, we have this refrigerator that you can't move that's filled with like AK-47s and M16s and all this fucked up shit. And when I was home, because I don't have any money right now, I asked my dad if I could borrow $10, and he whipped out this like spring-loaded switchblade and was like, psh, 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 psh. Sure, sweetie, and then he gave me $10. None of my jokes have endings. They sort of just peter out, and I want you to stay on board. Refrigerator full of guns, $10 knife fight. My grandma is kind of turning into like a 90-year-old troll in that I know she knows she doesn't have dementia, but she's fucking milking it. Like the other day, I was like, is that wrong? The other day I was like, Grandma, like I'm so excited for our lunch date, like I'm gonna take you out, and I did pay for it, so. And she's like, oh, I'm so excited too. And then she like looked down and pretended to forget and was like, but when will I get Dairy Queen? Fuck! So I like loaded her up into the car, got her Dairy Queen. That's the end of that joke. Okay. I have this like unrelenting need for people to like me. It's really horrible. Like one time I broke a glass in a restaurant and the waiter was like, and I kept saying sorry, and the more he ignored me, the more I said sorry, and it was one of those things that built and built until I was literally following him around like a koala bear lashed onto his back, like, just fucking say it's okay! So my ex-boyfriend, his name is Greg, and I made a, fucker, you were so right. I knew I liked you. I made this, I don't think this is weird. I think it's finally time to talk about it. I made this future scrapbook of things we hadn't done yet, where I pasted our faces all over games that we hadn't gone to and park trips we hadn't taken, zoo animals we hadn't admired, and then I gave it to him. Jill saw it. That's my old roommate. She saw it. She was like, bitch, don't give this to him. But I was like, no, it'll be funny. It'll be like all the stuff we're gonna do. We didn't do any of that shit. Still to this day, they're like, is it too soon to make jokes about when you made that future scrapbook of things you would never do with your hypothetical boyfriend? I honestly think it would have been okay if I hadn't have put in the marriage page. I really regret that one. But my dress was really current, trendy, Pinterest. No transitions, no endings, Vera Wang, vibrator in a bag. Oh, I made a joke 2.5 hours ago that was that my stage name was I'm the professor of hip hop. No one gives a fuck about it now. It passed. And it was like a joke where I was gonna be like, oh, hip hop 101, Jill Scott Herring, the revolution will not be televised. And it was like my college joke. It's fucking stupid, but it was, I thought you would want to know it. Anyway, I love this place. I love this town. I'm back. I can't wait. Thank you, Money Place. Thank you.